As many die-hard Marvel fans are aware, Sony owns the film rights to the Spider-Man property and all of the characters associated with him. While Sony and Disney have an agreement in place that permits Tom Holland's Peter Parker to exist in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, that leaves hundreds of characters merely hanging there waiting in the wings to be used for the sake of solo franchises. That is what inspired Venom, and as a result of its popularity, Sony is seeking to other characters to expand what it now refers to as Sony's Spider-Man universe. One of the next characters to get the big screen treatment will be Madam Webb, with the character to be played by Dakota Johnson, 50 Shades of Grey. Given that this is a slightly more obscure character, with an interesting backstory, we'll go into her appearances in Marvel Comics, her connections to Spider-Man, and what her involvement in this reality might imply in the big scheme of things. Let's get started. Madam Webb initially debuted in The Amazing Spider-Man number 210, later becomes a Spider-Man ally, was diagnosed with myasthenia gravis, a neuromuscular condition that caused her to lose her vision. She ends up using a complicated life support system that looks like a spider web, hence her name. Another thing of note is that she is frequently represented as an elderly woman and typically doesn't battle enemies herself. In terms of abilities, Madam Webb is a powerful clairvoyant mutant with precognitive abilities, telepathy, and a genuinely amazing intellect. Her first adventure with Spider-Man was her aiding him to find a kidnapped victim. Webb was one of the few people who recognized Peter Parker was Spider-Man long before he was unmasked as part of the Civil War event in the comics. They had a lengthy history together, with Webb serving as a steady ally. She tends to show up when he is in dire need of guidance and utilizes her clairvoyance as to warn him about the possible outcomes of his actions. One particularly important incident from the comics has to do with something called the Gathering of the Five. During that plot, Webb seeks Spider-Man's assistance to prevent her impending death. To avoid this, Peter is tasked with obtaining one of 5 artifact shards, with each of the 5 players getting either knowledge, power, immortality, insanity, or death. Fortunately for Webb, she achieves immortality, which restores her youth and cures her myasthenia gravis, for a while, at least. Otto Octavius constructed a new Spider-Woman using none other than Webb's granddaughter, Charlotte Witter, in another tale involving the evil Doc Ock. She absorbed the skills of the other Spider-Women, including Jessica Drew, Julia Carpenter, and Maddie Franklin. Webb gathered the many Spider-Women to defeat Charlotte, which they eventually achieved. She did, however, manage to absorb Madam Webb's talents, which resulted in her becoming an elderly woman again while keeping her immortality. As it turns out, the Madam Webb film will not be the character's first journey into another media, despite being her live-action premiere. Many Spider-Man fans of a particular age are probably familiar with her from her appearance in Spider-Man, the animated series in the 1990s. Later seasons saw Webb appear to aid prevent several universe-shattering events, as well as to build up a loose rendition of the renowned Secret Wars tale. What do you think of the new movie, character and the cast? Leave a comment.